G'day guys, David from Be Skilled Be Fit. Welcome to this week's Masterclass. We're going to do rolling and bouncing. We're going to go to the van, grab some stuff, and then we'll get started. So all we're going to grab today is I'll grab some cones. I've got some of our recycle bottles and the socks that we've been using that we can use as markers. I've got a couple of hoops and a couple of balls. So I've got just a soft spongy play ball that we can use, or if you've got a basketball, you can use that as well. So I've just grabbed a few balls that we can use so that we can get started with our bouncing. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is just want you to grab the ball and just bouncing one hand. Now our key points are we don't want to be punching and slapping the ball, okay? We want the ball to be coming up to about our belly button and just pushing, okay? So down up to your belly button and pushing. So we're not hitting the ball where we lose control and the ball goes everywhere. Nice and controlled. Just push, push, push. So what I want you to do, I want you to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So nice and controlled, just pushing it, letting it come back up to about the height of our belly button. We don't want to be doing it down here. That's too hard. We're trying to control it down here. We also don't want to be trying to control it from up here. That's really hard. Okay, so we just want to be nice and controlled, coming up to about our belly button. Okay, once you've done 5, let's see if we can use our other hand. So use our left hand. So if you used your right hand to start with, use your left hand. If you used your left, try with your right hand. Okay, so just coming up to about your belly button. Okay, remember not down nice and low, not slapping it, not like this. Okay, we can't control that. We want to be in control of the ball all of the time, coming up. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 on our right hand, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stop. Okay, now the next thing we can go on to, let's try and alternate. So right hand, left hand, right hand. Remember we're pushing down each time, so it's coming up to our belly button. Okay, if we can, we want to try and keep our head up while we're bouncing, so that when we get into a game situation, if somebody's coming, we know that they're coming, but we can still watch the ball while we're bouncing at the same time. Okay, so we want to try not to have our head down over the ball. Same with our soccer skills and our throwing skills. We want to try and keep our head up all the time so we can see what's going on around us. Alright, so then what we're going to do, we're just going to grab a couple of our markers. I'll put my socks down the end there, a couple of markers, a couple of our recycle bottles up there, and we're just going to walk using our right hand, go up through the cones, and then we'll go back using our left hand. Okay, so we can practice going up with our right, coming back with our left. Remember, we want to keep it coming up to our belly button, and this time we want to be pushing just out in front of us so it's keeping up with us, so we're not sort of falling behind with the ball. And then we want to try and pick up the pace. Okay, so we want to try and go a little bit faster. And back. Okay, give that a go. Try and do 5. Going up, right hand, coming back with your left hand. If your non-dominant hand still isn't that comfortable, try just using your good hand and then slow down a little bit with your left hand. So go faster with your good hand, a little bit slower with your non-dominant hand. Okay, this time what we're going to do is we're going to use both hands. Okay, now because I'm coming forward and I'm walking forward, and I've got to make sure I'm pushing the ball out in front. Otherwise, what might happen is I bounce the ball onto my foot and then I lose control. Okay, so alternating, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. Remember, we want it out in front of our body so that we're not stepping on, bouncing the ball onto our foot. And remember, we're still getting it up to about the height of our belly button. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to speed this up so we can go a little bit faster. Okay, turn around. Okay, so let's do that 5 times. So maybe with our passing, you can add some passing into this. So where you set that up from our previous masterclass with the wall or a fence or what you could do, hopefully you could work it out so that you could do your bouncing, then you could do your pass, get the ball back and dribble back again. Pass, get the ball back, and you can start linking those together so that you're running, bouncing and passing at the same time. Okay, I'm just going to got some witches hats this time. You can set up for okay, so once you've done your right hand, done your left hand, done alternating using each hand, we can start setting up some obstacles. So you've done it walking, you've started to build up your speed, so jogging and going as fast as you can. As you can see, I'm not using a lot of space. You don't need a massive amount of space. You can go up and back in little areas. So I've just set up some cones here. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to weave in and out. Okay, so we're going to go through. We can use our right hand, use our left hand. Okay, so weaving in and out of the cones. And then what we want to do is try and pick up the speed that we're doing that. Remember, all the time, we're not slapping it, trying to keep our head up and bouncing up to about our belly button so we can keep control of it. Okay, so, all right, so we're going to go in and out. Let's try and go a little bit fast. We can use our right hand, try and keep our up to our belly button. Remember, we want to bounce it out in front of us. Remember, we want to keep, it's pretty tight in here. That's it. Remember, we want to try and keep our head up and looking in case anybody's coming. And then we can do a pass to get the ball away. So then we can set up our obstacles. We can even adjust our obstacles, offset them a bit. Okay, and we can do the drill again. This time, we're going to go a little bit further around. Control it with our hands and then do a pass off if you've got a wall. Okay, so we can spread those out. We can make it closer, which makes it pretty tight to get in and out of. They're quite tight here. You can spread them out further. You can go as fast as you can in and out of all of the different obstacles. And hopefully if you can set it up where you can get those passes in, we can start mimicking our game situations. So with our bouncing, remember, out in front, use both hands, keep our heads up. Lots of things that you can practice coming up to our belly button. If we're walking, remember to keep it out in front of us so that we don't dribble it down on our foot. Remember, we don't want it down here and we don't want it up here. Really hard to control like that. So we just want it coming up to the height of our belly button. Okay, now if you've got someone, family, or you've got a friend or something like that that you can practice with, another good thing to do, practice is trying to dribble and not let them get it. So if the person's behind me, I can use my hand to not let them get. If they come around the other side, I can quickly change and see if you can keep it off your friend or someone in your family so that you can practice your dribbling. Remember there, make sure we've got to keep our head up. If we're just watching the ball, they'll probably get around and take it off us. If we've got our head out, make ourselves big, put your bottom out. We can stop someone from coming in and getting the ball, see how long you can keep it off your friend, and then swap over, give them a turn, see if you can get it off them, see if you can duck around one side, duck around the other side, see if you can get your hand in. Once you get your hand in, knock it away, then swap. Give each other a go and really practice your dribbling. Do it in an area where you can move around a little bit, okay? And practice your dribbling, practice keeping it nice and close, practice with your head up so that you can see what's going on around you. Alright, so get out there, practice your bouncing, lots of practice bouncing, because that's a really good skill to be able to use in lots of different games and different sports and mucking around with your family and your friends. Remember, just not slapping on the ball, not bouncing up here, not low, just up to your tummy, nice and controlled. As it comes up, you just push down on the ball, you don't slap down. Alright, let's go on to our rolling this time. So with our rolling, we're going to start with our seated roll. So we're going to sit down on the ground, our legs apart, going to have the ball down in front. Okay, so fingers up, point our fingers together, fingers down on the ball. So we want our fingers spread so we get nice even power. And from here, we're going to roll the ball, and my follow through is going to be right up above my head. So show me your fingers, point your fingers together, down on the ball, ready, set, go. Okay, let's try that again. Alright, show me your fingers, fingers together, down on the ball, and go. Now it's really important that we finish up here, because that's where we get all our power from. If I just do one from here, I don't get any power and I can't roll it that hard. Okay, so we want to try and roll nice and hard. Okay, I'm going to go and get the balls, and we'll go on to our next part. Okay, so I've grabbed the balls. So this time, I'm going to set up a couple of targets. Okay. And I'm going to try and knock them down with my rolling. So make sure we're looking where we're rolling, sitting down. Oh, I'll put that over there so it doesn't roll away from me. Okay, so show me fingers, point fingers together, down on the ball, looking at my target, ready, set, go. Okay, it's going to be pretty tricky unless I've got the drink bottle to knock the other drink bottle over. Oh. Alright, so show me fingers, fingers pointing together, down on the ball. Remember, eyes focusing on the target, same with our throwing, our step point throw. Okay, and roll. Okay, so set yourself up some targets that you can aim and try and knock over. Okay, so I'm going to grab the balls back, and then we'll go on to our standing roll. So practice your seated roll. You can practice with your friends, practice with your family, sit across from each other. You can go in a triangle, there could be a square, you can roll it around the square. Just remember, fingers spread wide apart, and remember our follow through. Okay, really important so we get our power. Okay, this time we're going to do our standing roll. So I'm just going to use the socks for a second, otherwise the ball's going to roll down the hill because I'm on a bit of a slope. Whoop, still going to roll. Oh, I'll use 2 pairs of socks. Here we go. Alright, so this time, fingers, we're going to bend our knees. Okay, so it's like our catching position so that we're balanced. Bend our knees, fingers pointing down behind the ball, fingers spread. Okay, bend my knees. This time I'm going to roll up in that direction, and I'm going to finish with my follow through right up above my head so I get my power. Okay, so we'll show that again. Okay, fingers down, pointing down towards the ground, bending my knees so I'm balanced, ready, set, go. And I finish with the ball, my hands right up above my head. Remember, I'm looking all the time at my target. Okay, so this time what we're going to do is I'm going to set up some of the recycle bottles, and I'm going to have a gap through the middle so it's like a goal, so I can see if I can get it straight through the middle. So I've set up the recycle bottles as a goal, so I'm not trying to knock them down this time, I'm actually trying to go through the middle there. Okay, so fingers down, remember, bending my knees so I'm balanced, and roll up through the middle, hopefully. Alright, we'll grab another ball, bend our knees so I'm balanced, fingers down, remember I can look where my target is, and finish with my follow through right up above my head. Okay, so you can set up a goal like that, so set up so that you can actually try and go through the area, or you could set them up like we did with our seated roll, and you could try and knock down the bottles or knock down some cones or put some things there that give you a target to try and hit and knock down. If you've got someone that you're doing this with, you can even get them to stand with their legs apart and try and roll it down through their legs without them seeing it coming, so they don't try and stop it or they don't move, and see how many times you can do it without hitting their legs, and keep score and have a little competition when you swap over. So have lots of fun with your rolling and your bouncing. Take your time, practice. Really great skills to learn that will help you with lots of different sports and games and activities that you're going to be using over and over again. Okay, so just before I go, our quick joke for this week. Why did the boy throw a butter out of the car window? Because he wanted to see a butterfly. Have fun. See you next time.